jeweler cherishes their gems.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain out. My apologies. Barbados, goodness. Go as one. Embrace the ice. Take flight. Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed. See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me lead the way from here.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying there were... When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. Otherwise, the secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard this saying before.
Certainly you have. And the content to provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War. This benevolent god searched all across Liyue. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of peace was a luxury. And that haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is no...
How sad, then. In the end, this peaceful place...
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal. Whatever happened doesn't matter as long as we can get inside.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. With this clue, you should be able to solve the puzzle.
I swear by my sword! Go as one! Here.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try.
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time. Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing.
Okay.
I propose you two agree upon a contract. stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter. With only one object to show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity like this up so...
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist? No, absolutely.
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of salt. I can't accept this.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin, as well as traps.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure in the...
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one request, Mr. Zhongli. If we discover the truth behind the god of salt, you must judge it fairly, even if the truth harms Morax's...
I can accept this arrangement. Well then.
May knowledge... Are these... statues?
No. These are people.
Ugh.
They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin?
Quake! Crumble! Quake! Rise!
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
Just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was...
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside won't...
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful indeed.
Finally. After all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune.
Hey! How can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a...
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan, according to the contract agreed upon.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this?
Since we have a contract, it's no use.
Then let's move on, shall we?
Whirling snow!
Quake! Just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind...
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with another. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a...
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless. Why would she get anything?
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need you. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I let you make...
Because you agreed to a... Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their contracts...
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya. I...
will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it...
Barbados, guide us!
Leaving so soon!
Witness the power of Gurwa! Know my sword! Rain out... My apologies! Kamisato art!
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin.
Oh, darn you!
Some archaeological survey. He could only pretend for so... Yeah! Good thing Paimon can smell a liar from him.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that may tempt us to break contracts. When people see the object of their dreams, how many are really able to control their desire? I think we should be honest with each other now.
Huh? Be honest about what?
That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition...
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes to anything regarding the... You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at Yinyuan Hall.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to seek you out once I... You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of the Chising. Yinyuan, our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago. when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it, the people of Leah had very...
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's Leah after all, so I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history fairly.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Li, come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Rise! Quake! Rise!
Go as one! Take flight! Beg for mercy. Whirling snow! Go as one! My apologies. Go as one! I swear by my sword. Let me weave you a verse. No, my sword. Whirling snow! Sakura swirl! This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the God of Salt had to fight back. Fight back against the evil Morax. But the power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Child. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the God of Salt.
It does look like...
Two pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are two separate relics. According to the
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clement is no longer here.
Yes, but the only one...
Zhongli, she seems like a good person, and no one is...
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not
No! If I only take one half, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the God of Salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a...
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself.
That's okay. The God of Salt gave up her life to protect her people. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But as punishment...
Huh? The truth? You mean the...
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you. I'm afraid to say that the God of Salt, Havria, was not the power. Rather, she was a small and weak god. who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself. And however, during such a long war, there is no end. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small...
No.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to
Not even a single blade?
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is...
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt!
As I said before...
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to...
Hey! Come back!
It is a punishment after all. I did not want to tell her such... Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no...
Are these statue thingies running? What will we find ahead?
Salt. And betrayal.
What are all... What did they see? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you... This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect any. The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would...
But what about these statue thingies?
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lapis. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternity. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword, and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might... But they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even
Even if this must be a lie. A false history, all of it. Don't you dare try to shake my face.
Yikes. Zhongli didn't show any mercy this...
This is the price she must pay. Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, simply Indeed. In ages past, Havria's story served as a... Faith in a god who has already passed will do you no good. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Now...
Huh? What do you...
Treading old ground. Telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances.
Barbados! Highness!
Who is one?
Rack and ruin! Vengeance will be mine! Eye for an eye! Blink! More speed!
The more, the merrier. Look at me. Just once more.
Rain cutter! Rain outlines your... Kamisato art! Suretsu!
Who is one?
Wait, hear me! Rack and ruin!
Who is one?
My apology!
Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old have been sealed beneath the Guyan stone forest. The Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler, to leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a homecoming. I ended an era with my own two hands. I've always wondered how I should remember that which history records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. Time is a mighty force, and history's twist. I need to find a better way of recording history in order to engrave its truth. Stone carvings were one such ancient method, but unchanging stone, immovable earth, even one such as myself.
Zhongli.
Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. If our history is engraved, as long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and tides of Teyvat.
Sounds like tough work.
Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler.
Why do we need to throw them into the sea?
As I said before, this is the place to which this includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently returned. Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria, has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate.
So this is a day in the life of the traveler.
Hi, Catherine. It's us. Any new commissions?
As a matter of fact, there's one that Uncle Dai is one of the foremen at Huishan Hall over in Liyue Harbor. He's hoping the Adventurers Guild can spare some manpower.
What is it we have to do exactly?
I believe you'll be looking for workers.
Ooh, looking for people? Awesome! We're good at that!
I have no reason to doubt your abilities. I'm sure the details can be worked out face to face. If you're willing to accept this commission, head over to the dock and talk to Uncle Dai.
I am indeed. Ah, now then. You must be the adventurers assigned by...
Huh? How could...
by the clothes on your back and the look on your face. Experienced adventure.
Right again! You're pretty...
In this trade, you need a sharp eye for people, not just rocks. Uncle Dai can see what you're made of from a long way. All right, my assistant should be arriving soon.
Woo woo! That's why we're here! Now there's someone else taking a cut?
Well, to tell you the truth, this is a very difficult matter. Too much for adventurers.
So there is someone else! Do you think we're not up to the job?
It just occurred to me that you don't have all the facts. The incident in question happened in a mine, and it's a little out of the ordinary, to say the least. Mines are dangerous places, as I'm sure you're aware. As such, I've enlisted an industry expert to cover all Last time I checked, adventurers weren't experts in ore appraisal or geological analysis. With a professional by your side, everything should run smoothly. Besides, this guy's the best in his field. No matter the rock, he'll tell you its value to the near... I'd go as far to say that there's not a soul on Teyvat that knows rocks better than him. I'd be a fool to not enlist an expert of his caliber.
You're a fool if you think you found Teyvat's #1 rock expert.
Oh? And why am I that?
Because Teyvat's #1 rock expert happens to be a friend of ours. Ha! Didn't expect that, did you? Wait here, we'll go fetch... Paimon bets Zhongli is listening to the storyteller. Let's head over.
In our last tale, Rex Lapis.
Zhongli, there you are!
Oh, here for a few tales? I didn't know you two were connoisseurs.
Oh, no, we're here for you!
Something I'm rarely short of.
We need someone who understands geology and ore. Take a look around. Is there anyone in Teyvat? The requester claims to have enlisted Teyvat's #1 rock expert, but Paimon doesn't...
You appear to have taken his claim.
Oh, no. It's just... Paimon just wants to...
I see.
Really?
But I should inform you that despite my expertise, I cannot necessarily claim we are at all times adrift in a sea of learning. New knowledge should be welcomed with open arms. Still, I imagine I will be of help to you in this endeavor. If we do encounter an expert, I look forward to broadening my own understandings.
Stop being so modish. Well, we got him. Let's head back to Uncle Doc. Uncle Dai, we're back!
Oh. And this must be the friend you spoke of?
Yep. Paimon doesn't know who your rock expert is, but he's got nothing on our guy.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Uh-huh. So you say. Wait till my guy gets here. It's no use me singing his praises. You'll have to see for yourselves.
Is this the place?
Aha! Speak of the devil. Allow me to introduce my assistant, Kun-jun. Young Kun, these are 2 adventurers assigned to us. And as for this gentleman... Wangsheng Funeral Parlor's consultant. Mr. Zhongli. I've heard about you. They say you're a man of great knowledge and many talents. I had no idea I'd be...
I'm sure I recognize you. Have we met at the parlor? Wait, I've never been to the parlor.
Uncle Dai, aren't you gonna test them?
Huh? Not...
Then they can figure out a way to test each other. If Zhongli wins, he's the assistant. If Zhongli loses... never mind.
A contest? Why, it would be my...
I admire your enthusiasm, good sir.
I must say, you certainly have the look of an industry expert about you. It'll be interesting to...
Stop talking the talk and...
I'm just saying it like I see it. Which is, incidentally...
So you're an appraiser, Mr. Kun-jun.
Well, no. Actually, I've already forgotten what I'm in Liyue Harbor for. I was standing by the side of the road one day when Uncle Dai called me over. He saw me holding a rock and asked me a few questions. He seemed incredibly excited, even followed me for a while.
Huh? How could...
I saw him on my way over to Liyue Harbor, poring over rocks and muttering to himself. He looked to be very familiar with them. I asked him a few questions out of curiosity. To my surprise, he knew more than me, an old mining foreman. In any case, he didn't have any pressing matters and agreed to help me.
So, do you have a permit?
Not exactly. Anyway, if it's rock... Mr. Zhongli, what do you make of this rock?
A glossy exterior, with a fissure that could only have been left in the wake of a volcanic eruption. If I'm not mistaken.
Ah, a keen eye.
It's no ordinary rough gem. Fragile surface layer, black veining. My intuition tells me that there's high-quality...
Remarkable! This rock does indeed hail from the vicinity of a volcano. I came across it in a market and snapped it straight up. The seller thought it was some leftover industrial remnant. They had no inkling of the treasure that lay within. Purity and geological rarity alone aren't enough to make a treasure. Some of the most precious crystals contain deposits of water or sand. In the moment of its formation, the crystal hidden within this stone shell captured a pocket of water. For water to be hidden in its depths, like a moon concealed within a mountain, reflecting shafts of daylight that make it through. Now that's a rare treasure.
Such a detailed description. Almost like he saw it with his own two. Say, you're not trying to hoodwink us, are you? After all, we haven't even seen what's inside.
Everything he said is... Most crystals are born in high-temperature environments. Heat and water aren't natural bedfellows, of course, which is why crystals with water deposits are so sought after. Moreover, this particular crystal contains mountain lake water. A rare find indeed.
Well, if Zhongli says so, it must be true.
I've yet to encounter anyone with a judgment as shrewd as yours, Mr. Zhongli. How did you know exactly what lay within?
I've seen many such stones in my time. I recognized it immediately. I hope you didn't mind me flaunting my
Of course not. I feel I've met a kindred spirit here today. I hope you will Uncle Dai, it would be a mistake for Mr. Zhongli not to join us. Trust me when I say that his level of expertise is unrivaled in the trade. You won't come across another of his...
Very well. There is strength in numbers, after all. Everyone, follow me to the chasm. There are men counting on you to find them. This is where the incident occurred. 6 days ago, a group of us left the site to attend to other matters. When we returned, the 4 men we'd left behind had vanished. I led a team around the entire mine, but found no trace. That's when I decided...
So 4 miners have disappeared.
Yes, there were 10 of us. We lost Long, Bold Sen, Brave Sen, and Mao. I worked with all of them.
Workers in this trade are usually young men in the prime of their lives. Could it be that the 4...
Unlikely. There's no other lodging for miles around, and we didn't pass any other mines on the way over.
Huh. Such a huge mine.
Underground, overground. We left no stone unturned. We tried everything short of digging further into the earth itself.
We'll need to explore the site ourselves before extracting.
Very well. I'll wait here. Please, proceed wherever you'd like. If you come across any clues...
So strange. How could the 4 of them just suddenly disappear? Did they run away from something? Over here! What's this? A pile of shirts.
A few everyday items. They must belong...
1, 2... Huh. That seems right. 10 shirts. These must be spares, right? Look, Uncle Dai's clothes are...
The 4 of them have been gone for 6 days without a change of clothes.
There's also a few handkerchiefs and some soap lying around. Oh, and some tool belts.
Items for washing one's face before the dawn shift. Mining equipment.
So, they didn't take any support.
Correct. Improbable, there are 4 pickaxes missing. It seems they had time to take their tools, but not their everyday items?
Huh. Why would someone set off with their...
1, they were working close by and didn't need to move their personal effects. But seeing as they've yet to return, this seems an unlikely hypothesis. Or 2, they were forced to leave and had no time to think about...
Oh.
It's certainly a possibility.
If they didn't leave, maybe they were made to leave. Let's make a note and let Uncle Dai know. Kunjun, what are you...
Oh, right on time.
Did you find anything?
There's a chunk of ore here. Perhaps there are clues.
Or, what does it have...
Let's find out. I'll give it a try. A moment. Okay.
Looks like he's concentrating.
I see. 4 men.
A child? What's a child?
I'm...
Also, how did...
Oh, I don't mean see in the traditional sense. I would appreciate it if what I'm about to tell you remained a secret. It's a little odd. I can perceive the memories.
Huh?
Perceive? So there's no conjecture?
You mean you can put your hand on a rock and...
I've always sensed that ore contains memories. Sometimes it records events that occur in the surrounding area. All I have to do is touch one and focus my attention. And the...
Amazing! So you can find out everything...
It depends on the ore. Some ores have astounding memories. Others, like iron ore and white iron ore, aren't up to much. Their memories are hazy. Core lapis and crystal memories are much stronger. They record more events and in greater detail.
Stone seeing. Fascinating. A rare ability indeed. It was prudent of...
I'm glad I can be... Based on what I saw, I believe they followed this...
This will take us north, away from the mine.
North. Another clue for Uncle Dad.
Excuse me, sir.
Ah, yes. You must be here about the disappearance. Please, find them if you can. I don't know what happened. The weather was gloomy that day. The foreman left with a few men. I stayed behind with the other 4. After a while, I decided to take a break, just to catch my breath. I ended up falling asleep in the shelter inside. When I woke up, there was no sight of them. I'd only just been speaking with them, and suddenly, they'd vanished. Maybe I'm next.
So the men that were out working disappeared, with the only one left to tell the tale having been asleep in a shelter. Perhaps an accident occurred on site.
What is an on-site accident? We should note that down too. Found some clues. Time to report back to Uncle Di.
You're back. How are the
We found 3 clues in the vicinity. First, there are 4 missing pickaxes, yet everyday items are still in their place. This suggests that your men didn't leave of their own.
forced to? But who would...
Who indeed? Second, there were 5 workers at the mine. One of them left the site to take respite. When he awoke, his colleagues had disappeared without... Those who kept working all disappeared. The one who left early emerged safe and sound. It would appear that the incident occurred on site.
Now that you mention it, I recall Bravo saying that he took a... Could someone have entered the site and simply walked away with them?
This leads me to my third point. Mr. Kun-jun here made good use of his, expert techniques to arrive at a conclusion.
A child? But there are no settlements here for miles around.
Unlikely as it sounds, that's our conclusion. Your men were following a child.
Where did they go?
We believe that they followed the road north, away from the mine and...
North. Right. I'll rally my men and head in pursuit. You've been invaluable to the investigation, but leave the legwork to us. If we set off now and make haste, we might be able to catch...
Not so fast. The incident occurred 6 days ago. Even if they set out on...
You're right. New plan. I'll lead my search party over to the settlements further out and make some inquiries. There are only a few settlements around here with lodging for the night. We'll go investigate and see if we can come up with anything. In the meantime, you could keep looking for clues. If we don't see each other, let's reconvene at Wangshu Inn tomorrow evening.
Agreed.
All right. Me and my men will get going.
So, they're gonna talk to the people over at the settlements while we keep investigating.
Correct.
But there aren't any more clues at the mine. Shouldn't we go north?
Wait. I believe...
Huh? Oh yeah! Where's Kunjun? Paimon bets he's still investigating. Let's...
Apologies. I'm conducting a quick search for my own benefit. I'm looking for a precious stone known as Dragonfall.
Dragonfall? Dragonfall is often used...
I'm sorry. I don't recall why I'm seeking it. I've been feeling very... In fact, I've been feeling extremely anxious. As if there's something I've forgotten to finish.
Oh, Paimon knows that feeling. When you know you've forgotten something, but you can't remember it.
I don't even know where to start with it. I've been aimlessly wandering. That day at the market, I overheard a conversation while I was buying something. It sounded so familiar to me, as if whatever it was I had to do was linked to that stone. Perhaps if I can retrieve some, I'll remember what it is I have to do.
I see. If I am able to during our endeavor, I will help you look for this stone.
Really? Oh, thank you, Mr. Zhengli.
Think nothing of it.
Shouldn't we get going?
Heading north from the chasm, we'll reach Lingju Pass. If this is indeed the path they chose, there will be traces.
Great! Let's have a look! Wait! There are tracks here! These must have been left by the miner.
Let us make our way to the end of Lingju Pass. If there are no footprints there, it would suggest that the miners are still within the pass itself. However, it would appear that they made their way through Lingju Pass.
If we follow their footprints, we should be able to find where they went.
Barbados, guide us.
Go as one!
Witness the power of Gugwa. Sakura swirl!
Oh no! The footprints end here!
We should inquire with anyone nearby. If the miners came through here, they may well have seen them.
I swear by my sword! Whirling snow! My apologies!
Hi there! Have you seen...
A miner.
Let's try... Hello! Have you seen any miners nearby about...
Stop bothering me. Can't you see I'm...
Jeez! A little grump, whatever. Let's go ask someone...
Wind, hear me! Let me read you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. No! Whirling snow! Yeah!
Looks like I went too far.
Hey there!
It must have been about 4 or 5 days ago. There were a few men who came through here carrying baskets and picks.
Yeah!
4 or 5 days ago. It appears that they were moving slower than we'd anticipated.
It was so strange. 4 big guys with lifeless expressions. It was like they were in some sort of trance. And there was a child staggering in
Huh. This child...
I caught a glimpse. Blue hair, short. I think it was a girl. She wasn't smiling.
And they took this road...
Yes, they followed it straight from here.
Let's go after them.
Let's end this quickly!
Witness the power of Gugwa, Rain, Outlaw. My apologies. Kami Sato Art. Sumetsu. Yeah.
Stay right there. This one's close.
Take flight.
This isn't good. You need to hurry up!
No, my sword.
Unfortunate fault.
Go as blood. I swear by my sword. Whirling snow. Yeah.
More footprints. There's a person over there.
Help! Please save me!
Be on your guard, traveler. Now is no time for
Oh, why's that? Has some...
Yes. As unusual as this may sound, numerous eyewitness reports have confirmed an active Ruin Guard presence in this area. Sergeant sent someone to find out just where these ancient machines might have come from. It appears that they simply left their ruin and marched off.
So did somebody wake them up?
As I say, the reason is still unclear. We have moreover, the ruin in question is of the especially spooky variety. Strange noise. As such, we are not permitted to investigate until the order comes through from headquarters. Sorry? Did you say something?
Was that supposed to be your impression of Master Diluc talking about the Knights of Favonius?
In any case, the only sensible strategy in the meantime is to increase Millilith patrols. We must not let innocent civilians...
That's a good point. Ruin guards are probably pretty dangerous for regular folk.
Wow. I'm very grateful indeed for the offer.
Oh, don't worry about that. This one beats up ruin guards for breakfast.
Is that so? Well, if you're I did see some Ruin Guard footprints on the hillside. But since then I've been too busy warning passers-by to investigate myself.
Footprints, eh? Interesting.
While the Millilith stands guard, evil shall never prevail. On behalf of the Millilith, I salute you, traveler. You have my gratitude.
I condemn you! Let me weave you a verse. No, my sword! Take flight! Sakura swirl! Lower
Those monsters were so aggressive. They must have noticed me walking through. Before I knew it, they were all over me. Thank you all. My name is Wanyu. I belong to Liyue's Shengyu Hall. I head up our human culture and civilization research.
Huh? You sure you're not
A miner?
Yeah, we're looking for a group of 4 strong fellas carrying mining equipment.
I think I...
Really?
Yes. I set off from Nantianmen the day before yesterday, heading for Lingju Pass. About halfway there, I came across some people. A few men and a child. I was in a hurry. I didn't get a good look. I'm afraid I'm not even sure what they looked like.
I think that's all we needed to hear.
I hope it's useful to you. I'd better get going. There's a conference I need to attend. Again, thank you all.
According to the scholar, the miners were heading for Nantianmen.
Can we be absolutely sure that it was the men that we're looking for?
A child with a group of adults. Sounds pretty close to Paimon. But...
Hey, perhaps that rock over there can tell us more.
Aha! Paimon nearly forgot about her.
It looks promising. I'll do my best. It's the same group, all right. They followed this...
Mr. Kunjun, your stone seeing is something I won't forget in a hurry.
I suppose it is an asset, though I rarely find a use for it. But praise from Mr. Zhongli is high praise indeed.
It's a good thing we brought our Kunjun compass along. We would have lost all sense of...
You think so? I guess it's been a worthwhile... It feels like we're cracking a criminal case. It's a lot of...
Be that as it may, we would do well to keep our 4 fully grown men in a trance-like state, walking ceaselessly day and night, over hills and mountains, led by a child.
Oh, you're quite right, Mr. Zhongli. We should have our wits about...
That's not all. Our scholar was attacked by Geovishap hatchlings, but the level of aggression they exhibited was unusual. We have encountered many clues along the way. So far, they've pointed us in the right direction. The miners headed in the direction of Nantianmen the day before yesterday. From here, they would have had to navigate a perilous mountain road. If their destination is indeed Nantianmen...
Great! No time to look...
I left a mark in the vicinity just now. If Uncle Dai does pass through here, it should guide him to us.
Clever thinking! A classic Zhongli move!
Want to taste my hammer?
Wind, hear me!
Fry!
Ring cutter!
Jab across! Should replace my hammer.
There's a basket lying here, too. This must be one of the...
Hey! Hello?
Judging by his appearance, he must have
Should we wake him up?
I can still dig.
Sounds like he's whispering something.
It seems that he thinks he still has work to do. There's a camp nearby. We should take him there and monitor his condition before deciding on...
How is he? He won't die.
He's worked himself into a stupor. Thankfully, he's not in serious danger.
Paimon heard him talking about digging for something. Did he dig himself in?
It's certainly a possibility.
It looks like there's something in his... Are these... Oh, I just witnessed the memories within these ore fragments. This person brought these fragments out of the mine. He's one of the...
How he came to be here is what we need to...
So he was kidnapped. And then... But if they didn't need him, why bring him all the way out here?
Unless something happened.
Ugh. Paimon's had enough. This...
Oh, wait a moment. Seeing these fragments has jogged my memory. I have something for you.
What is it? Ooh, is it a present?
Something for us?
As I mentioned, before I met Uncle Dai, I was in a daze. After setting out with you on this case, it feels like a fog is lifting. I was so happy when Uncle Dai enlisted you to help. I would never have managed to track down these clues by myself. These are some crystals that I bought from the market. Not any old crystals, mind you. This purity is extraordinarily rare. One for each of you. A memory, if you will.
It's beautiful. Oh, and the colors change as you turn it. It's like a different crystal from each end.
But of course. And this one is for Mr. Shangli. Huh? Is something...
On the contrary. I just hadn't anticipated but thank you.
I'm pleased you like them. It's nice to be able to give a gift that... Oh, I see more rocks over there. You should all get some rest. I'm going to scan the surroundings. Perhaps there are more memories to uncover.
You sure like rocks, huh, Kunjun?
Ores are the crystals of the earth, the sediment of time itself. I feel at peace among them. Get some rest and call me when you're ready to set off. I won't be far.
Rest easy. I surveyed the area. There's no danger. Oh, however, there is something...
Huh? What's...
Traveler. Does dragon...
You mean the ore that Kunjun's looking for? What's those...
Dragonfall is an incredibly rare ore used in forging. The majority of regular crystals are formed in high-temperature environments. Dragonfall, on the other hand...
Elemental reactions can produce material objects?
Indeed they can. However, only a Dragonfall first emerged in the midst of a great battle, thousands of years ago. Powerful clashes of elemental energy gave birth to elemental crystals. When the fighting ceased, these geological remnants were miraculous. And yet they are crystal creations all the same. Few and far between, relatively unknown. A few hundred years ago, they were Why is it, then, that a citizen of Liyue now wishes to strike upon ore that has...
Yeah! If he knows of its existence, surely he knows all... Weird.
There are those in the mining trade who retain a keen interest in Dragonfall. But for someone like Mr. Kunjun, whose motivations for seeking it are unclear even unto...
Ulterior motives? Is he a villain?
A conclusion that is presently impossible to reach. We must watch. Don't forget, rescuing those miners is the primary objective. As for anything else, we're drawing closer to our goal. I believe we should continue to follow this road through. Now that we've found one, the others won't be far away. When you're well rested, call Mr. Kunjun over to us. We still have more investigation. We should ensure this miner is settled here at the camp. Once we've brought this matter to a close, we can return and attend to him. I suggest we leave a note for Uncle Dai. If he does find the camp, he'll know what to do.
No problem. I'm done here.
Any results, Mr. Cooper?
There are many beautiful rocks here, but nothing out of the ordinary. I couldn't find any clues. Then again, the memories of ore can shift with the passage of time and the changing of the environment. Difficult to say. I feel that ore memories tend to be from the recent past.
So there's never any...
Rocks endure, but as eons pass, their memories are erased. Those memories that survive are rooted in powerful emotion or thought.
That makes sense. It is the same for people.
Indeed. Let's keep going. Wow. Such an...
And there's so many mysterious-looking crystals up there.
This ancient tree. Let's conduct separate investigations. I'll take that area. Perhaps you could survey this section. All right, then.
Kunjun, can you see anything worth...
Well, there is this stone tablet here.
Doesn't seem very interesting. Paimon's...
Huh. It's worth a try, surely. Let me see. Oh! This is...
Hey, what's wrong?
just a bit lightheaded. It's past. Nothing to work... Not...
Whatever. Paimon's going to investigate over there. Why don't you climb the tree and have a look? If you don't try, you won't know. Anyway, you'll be able to get a good look at our surroundings from up there.
Oh.
When has Paimon ever come up with a bad idea? Wait a minute.
All of you, come here.
Huh? Zhongli's voice came from behind the tree. Quick, let's go see. Maybe he found another mine.
This has been newly dug. It would appear our...
Is that a voice coming from the tunnel? Someone else go first.
Compose yourselves. I will lead... There is an unusual presence emanating from inside the tunnel. Prepare yourselves. This is...
The missing miners are here. What are they digging for?
I'm afraid that this whole tunnel is the fruit of their strenuous labor.
That gate. Has it been there all along?
Digging a tunnel to this ancient seal. Had they not been discovered, they would undoubtedly persevere to the gate.
So behind the seal, What do we do? We can't hurt them.
step of your own volition. Excellent. Taking revenge for sealing me away will be all the easier.
So, the little girl is your power incarnate. But if you recall, Ishtaha, this is not how we intended for events to transpire.
Waste not your words. Your life is mine.
My apologies. Unthinkable. My companion. Vengeance will be mine. Rack and ruin. Take flight. No, my sword.
Is once not enough? You would forsake me again?
If that is what you choose to believe, so be it. He who bears the weight of memory is destined to shoulder the burden of truth, as it ought to be.
Cowardly insects!
Crumble! Order guide you.
Witness the power of Gwa. Rain out. Whirling snow.
Crumble!
Sakura swirl. Go and fly.
Rise!
Flood of frost.
Morax! You think you can destroy me?
Quake!
Take flight.
Crumble!
Wind, hear me. Go and fly. I let my guard down. Let me weave you a verse. Whirling snow.
I will have order. Quake!
My apologies.
Crumble!
Embrace the ice. Whirling snow.
Morax! 1,000 years after you sealed me underground!
You should call it by its name.
Fate? Fate? So here lies the wisdom of the gods. Destroy all deemed redundant. Enlist tyrants.
No. You have forgotten.
That voice!
Ishtaha.
Huh? Kunjun?
Morax. It's been a while.
You're...
Ishtaha. The very same.
During the battle, you imbued us with your power.
Yes. It was all I could manage. Forgive me for concealing the truth, traveler. There were things that only became clear to me upon... Allow me to elaborate. I am not Ishtaha, the whole heaven and earth. Yin and yang. Opposing forces. You can consider the existence of me and the Ishtaha you see there to be a reflection of such...
So there are two?
No! It can't be!
When the seal loosened, your power manifested in this world as a child. With this new identity, you were able to vent about the forces that suppressed you. That's when it occurred to you. The loosening of the seal constituted an opportunity to strike back. Kidnapping the miners was all in aid of digging to the entrance to the seal itself. Your plan was to launch an attack on...
The audacity! Are you insane? If you truly are a part...
I was another power awakened with the loosening of the seal. Too weak to reincarnate, but strong enough to possess a human body. I was barely conscious. I couldn't remember who I was. Only the past would elicit a reaction from me. But my aim was clear. Find Morax and aid...
I had sensed that something was amiss when you mentioned Dragonfall. Had your power been but a little stronger, I would have recognized you.
Don't blame yourself. I have changed beyond all recognition. Only when I touched... It's been so long. A secret beyond all comprehension of youthful humanity and ancient dragonkind. Morax.
There would be no harm in it.
You haven't changed. Ajdaha was once a friend and ally of the Geo-Archon Morax, with a lifespan far exceeding that of mankind. The memories of rocks do not last long. Those memories that survive are rooted in powerful emotion. But as time passes, so these memories fade. Erosion ground Ajdaha's consciousness into oblivion. Slowly, he forgot the face of his old friend, and his memories of defending Ajdaha, now incomplete, became
What would you expect? It was humanity that attacked the ley lines that
This much is true, which is why you attacked the chasm. Why you waged war in the beginning, in order to open up new territory and increase production. The citizens of Liyue came to the mountains to mine. Overexploitation caused the ley lines to quake. Erosion made us even more savage. No matter how we struggled, we lost the ability to coexist. Morax shared with us some of his power to prevent further erosion. But it was futile. Everything returns, and so we became you. And from your will, I am your final contract. Witness the promise between Ajdaha and Morax.
No!
I am the remnants of Ajdaha's benevolence, the echo of a contract set in stone. I harbor a willingness to go further.
No! It is I, Ajdaha, forged of elemental crystal, bearer of the weight and memories of the earth, older than the mountains and the oceans that decides.
Morax is not.
A lord over insects is nothing but an insect.
You forgot yourself. Nobody held Morax in higher regard than you or that which you have forgotten. I hold here in my heart. If you are the memory of the earth, then I, all powers under heaven, rise and fall of land and sea.
A star appears within the wild. A sun ascends as bright as... strange.
You are spent, and I will soon disappear. In the wilderness, snow falls on a spring day. In an instant, it will melt, even where it is fleeting and leaves no trace.
No! That isn't true!
Perhaps it isn't, but it remains.
More axe!
The little girl vanished!
Are you satisfied, Ajdaha?
I had to make amends. Satisfaction had... So, Morax. You call yourself Zhongli?
I do.
Well... I'm afraid old habits die hard.
As you please.
I never did forget your gift of sight.
I hardly lifted a finger. Think nothing of it.
And yet, you could see. You wouldn't know the yearning of a blind dragon, searching for the sun. A pair of eyes from Morax.
Your power is nearly spent.
Perceptive as always.
Shall we get going, you and I?
Surely the pressing matter is still that of the miners trapped outside the seal.
Indeed. Hence the need to get going. To fix the damage.
Straight.
Huh? How did we get here? We need to go back and check on the miners!
So there you are. My men and I found your clues and we found Mao in a tent at the campsite unconscious. It seems he'll be okay. Sadly, we found... Huh? Young Kun.
Nothing. Pay it no mind.
Cave?
They're exhausted, but not in
Right. Well, thank you, all of you.
So you're taking them back to Liyue Harbor?
That's right.
Can I come with?
No problem. You rescued my men. I'll be happy to assist all of you in any way I can.
Kunjun, we should be calling you Ezdaha. You're coming back to Liyue.
Not I. Once I'm gone, the true owner will accompany the miners back to Liyue. Kunjun hails from a family of famous artisans. He too will be famous in time. It would be a shame.
You always did have a great admiration for black.
Curious how swords and daggers are blind, yet their creators see so much. Perhaps empathy is mankind's proudest.
Ezdaha.
I can sense it.
Today I am just an ordinary citizen of...
Even you met such a fate. Let's get the difficult part out of the...
No matter. If that day comes to pass, Liyue must prepare itself to face it.
And how will Liyue fare without Rex Lapis?
Even without a god above, this remains a nation of men. I was once their god. I ought to be here to witness their rise and fall.
All life is shaped and then ground away by the endless flow of time. You were always the strongest among us. Yet, it would seem that even that's unimportant. Fate is ordained by heaven. Even if our mission, you may live forever, doomed to a lonely existence. Yet, even this is temporary. When you reach the end of time, those people, those past and future relationships predetermined by...
I do not pretend to match your rhetoric when it comes to the subject of a life long lived. I fear that the life of an elemental being is longer than any in this world.
Were it not so, you would have killed me long ago. And...
You've brought a smile to my face. When all is said and done,
that day in the chasm. Did you hesitate?
A heart of stone is a heart nonetheless. But I am the god of contracts, and was for a time a god of the people of Liyue.
You chose justice, but did not forsake your kindness. You came to me not as an assassin, and so I was willingly sealed.
The movements of the Earth Dragon can tremble the earth and shake the heavens. With your abilities, even at my full strength, I struggled to confront you.
Hence, my inception. Do not forget that I was there with Liyue's founder. The face may have changed, but the content of the contract remains intact. Old friend. God of contracts.
Thank you, Ezdaha.
My life is nigh on eternal. I will go on with the infinite flow of time. And you, Morax.
You're leaving?
If it is fated, Morax, we will meet again.
Yes. Don't be alarmed.
Whoa. That was so weird.
In fact, We have yet to meet the real Kunjun. He was. Centuries may have passed since then, but events from 1,000 years ago remain crystal clear in my mind.
In our last tale, Rex Lapis was walking alone in the mountains. He heard a remote voice, unlike any other, coming from a crack in the earth.
Most of the ancient geo-life forms that live below Liyue are blind, having not seen the sunlight for an age.
The voice was sometimes sad and song-like. Other times it was loud and thunderous. The Lord of Geo searched here and there before finally unearthing a strange stone from the bedrock.
That's how Aishtaha was. I answered his wish and took him above ground.
The Lord of Geo took pity on the rock spirit and carved it into a magnificent work of craftsmanship, a vivid representation of a dragon.
I bestowed him with a pair of eyes to see the world and came to an agreement with him.
With his fingers, he made 2 eyes. Quicker than words could tell, lightning flashed and thunder roared, and a living, breathing dragon soared into the clouds.
I agreed to let him live among the people above ground. But if the day ever came when he brought ruin to order, he would once again be sealed in the dark.
The dragon accompanied the Lord of Geo, fighting campaigns alongside him in the 4 corners of the world. We have a saying to eulogize these events. The crash of a spear brought billowing dust. The mountains and waters made way at the sound. The sight of a dragon bestowed with a touch the promise of rainwater blessing the ground.
A 1,000 years ago, Aishtaha attacked the chasm. I tried to obstruct him, fighting him tooth and nail down the length. During that battle, Dragonfall was born. Aishtaha could sense the stone. Subconsciously, he won. Despite being the victor, I could not claim to be stronger than he. And in his heart, he still retained an ounce of goodwill towards me. He was willing to be sealed away. But as the erosion set in, even I cannot avoid it. But there is something I understand better than most. When the door opens, the greater the power, the greater the danger erosion may bring about. The millennia may come and go, but even a stone personally sealing away an old friend. This is just one. People abandon and surrender the things they love to pursue the right path. Perhaps this is the erosion imposed on me by that I was a god of mankind. My identity may change, but my eyes will bear witness to the history.
You still care a lot about...
Call it... I must thank you both.
No worries!
Oh? About what?
Oh, yeah! Not long ago, we met a guy called Dick. He told us about Conria and the punishment of the gods. That's when we realized that those events were connected to the person we're certain. Zhongli, you're a god. You've lived through thousands of... Why? You can't even give us a thread of information? This is so important.
I understand. But I must apologize.
You mean another past grievance? Like the incident with Ejda? Too painful to talk about?
It was signed before it all began. I have always honored the contract. And you two are friends to me. I can assure it brings me no pleasure to disappoint you. But
would you be ready to find out?
It appears your understanding of this world... There are many events of ages past. They have been eroded by time, forgotten by the people. abandoned. But you are capable of finding them and bringing them into the light. Those who come to witness will witness. Those who are born to remember will remember. If you take the same road as that person, there may be more difficulties ahead. But as long as you
dare overstep your mortal authority?
You're mine!
Quit it!
Bishop!
I swear by my sword!
Right away!
Time to go!
The enraged earth will not absolve you!
Insolent! Brace yourself! This is gonna hurt!
Today, you witness your reckoning!
wind, hear me.
No time to lose. Amateur pop.
Go!
There is no atonement.
Go as
For
far!
1,000-year
Cross
pain.
over! Phew!
Shine down.
Death looms. My
You
time to
stand
shine.
upon your tomb, though you know it not. Come, experience an eon of suffering.
Illusion shattered.
Go as flat!
I swear by my sword.
Dust!
There is no escape.
Tidal wave.
Go! This isn't good. Is it my time?
Couldn't let your guard down.
Go as flat!
Shine down. Inazuma shines eternal.
Will not absolve you!
Barbados, guide us.
Rocked to dust.
Go as flat!
Sooner or later. I will not be destroyed.
Let's get down to business.
Take flight. Rain outlines your fate. Witness the power of Gua.
My apologies.
lucky
My
day.
apologies. Yeah. Let me weave you a verse. Whirling snow, Sakura swirl.
Finally,
Eye for an eye. Touche.
to the very
Come with me. Let us find shelter from the rain.
Let's get down to business.
Wind, hear me. Rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate. Take flight.
To the ferry.
Embrace the ice.
To the ferry.
Go as one. My apologies.
Down to business. Let me try my cheap tricks.
Witness the power of Gua.
My blade.
Whirling snow. I swear by my sword. Go as one.
To the ferry.
My apologies. Freeze to the core. I condemn you.
To the ferry. Cut down. Like this.
More speed.
Let's get down to business.
Let me weave you a verse. Snow my sword. Yes. Wind, hear me. Whirling snow. Sakura swirl.
Cut down.
Go as
To the
one.
ferry. Finally, No.
There's a pleasant breeze and glorious sunshine. So, where shall we go for a walk? Yeah!
Let's get down to business.
Witness the power of the wild, huh? Rain outlines. My apologies.
How's this?
Kamisato art. Sumetsu.
Finally, I to the very... How's this?
Whirling snow. Yeah.
Let's get down to business.
Barbados, guide us. Rain cutter. No, my sword. My apologies. Whirling snow.
My blade.
The wrong test subject.
Take flight. A blade embraces its duty, as a jeweler cherishes their gems.
It's my lucky day.
Swear by my sword! Lowest one! Let me weave you a verse.
Fairy.
Sakura swirl!
Fairy.